Where's the podcast this? Where's the podcast that?
Shh, we're coming.
Culture Cams, Cult Hero.
Boy again. Your boy Maiwa, host with the most, king of London.
Kings of London, hi. We're the only ones in Europe.
Fuad Kadani, podcasting Pepe.
Football, culture,
Movement. Oh my word. They asked questions. They tweeted. They sent emails. They sent letters. They sent search parties. Far and wide. From London to Lagos. From Dubai to Dublin. They looked everywhere. We're back.
We back!
We are back.
It's
Listen.
so good.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people from wherever you are, welcome to the movement. The football culture movement.
Aye, round of applause for that. Round of applause, please.
Hey, come on. Get on your feet, people, ladies and gentlemen. Get on your feet.
Yes!
Otherwise known as FCM. Now listen, I know loads of people have questions. We'll get into some of that stuff. And of course, listen, this is first and foremost a football show. We have a lot to talk about. But I think it's only right we say massive shout out to DR. For even in the project, you know. We talk about projects in football a lot, but massive shout out to DR Sports for doing project.
It's a project. This is a real project.
We're going to be a
process. Trust the process.
Trust the process for real. And obviously, if you're unfamiliar, I go by the name of Maiwa. To my left, I've got the one and only Culture Cams, and to my right,
the cult hero.
The cult hero. On my right, I've got Fuad Kadani, the podcasting Pepe. Listen, man, if it's your first time tuning in, you're in for an amazing time. You are now part of the movement. You've joined us. You're part of the faction. You're in it for life.
Listen, it's a pact. You're locked in.
You're locked in.
For real.
It's for life.
Yes.
Listen, man, if it's your first time, we're going to have lots of fun, man. This is a footballing show. We're different. We have cultural references. We get into it. This is real analysis, not here for jokes. Sometimes it's funny, yeah, but we're real football here.
Yeah.
About the football, about the culture, about the movement. Before we get into the football, though, let's clear up some stuff.
Where have we been? Where we been?
Go give him a little bit of a backstory.
What's going on?
Where have we been, Fuad?
Listen, summertime, I've been enjoying SDS live shows. We're selling out. We got SDS boys as well. You know, Spurs campaigns, you know what I'm saying? Hey, big up yourself as well. Chelsea poster boy over there. Big up yourself. I see inside scoop over there. Listen, we've been busy all over summer, but for me, this is the one thing I've been waiting for. And we always kept telling everyone, people were messaging us, people on road, comment sections.
Mate.
No matter what show I went on as well, it was like, bro, when is the podcast coming back? And we always said, listen, patience, we promise you something special is coming. And I promise you, Sunday evenings will never be the same again. But I think obviously this is what now, our fifth year, I think. Fifth year of making content together. Do you know what I mean? And obviously initially we came into this Stoppage Time TV. I want to give a big shout out as well, first and foremost, to 360 TV. I'll be real with you. Big them up because they were the ones that initially brought us together. Just to give people a little bit of a backstory, they were the ones that initially brought us together. We didn't know each other before, but then the football chemistry is just there. Do you know what I mean? And took the next step. FTBL, big them up as well. Gave us a platform last year. Do you know what I mean? Showed us what we're capable of, and now we're here with DR, baby. We're ready to take this thing to the next level.
Next
take this
level,
thing
man.
to the moon.
Next
so I want
level.
to say everyone else who supported this show, no matter where we've gone, big up your damn selves as well. Because trust me, the love we felt the past couple days has been real. The past couple months, the messages have been relentless. And trust me, we appreciate it. And we're going to give you something back every Sunday. I promise you it's not going to be one to miss.
And you know what it is now? Remember, as we said, this is the FCM. So you know what that means? If you're still calling it stoppage time, hi! That's gone now. Hi! It's FCM. And listen, we're going to make some noise. We're going to have some fun. I'll let you do the courtesy now. Let's get into what we're really here for. But by the way, are we just gonna ignore that my host is pulling up with purple hair? We're just gonna.
I was waiting.
We're just gonna get this right.
Wait. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. What do you mean?
Wait.
No, I'm not
It's
having
cool when
this.
they do it.
I was the one with the flex.
It's a problem when I do it.
No. There's blonde hair. There's blonde. You know, Dirkio. Everyone's done it. Purple. Man, I'm pulling up like Lil Uzi now, bro.
Man, are rapping sets. What's going on?
Hey, bro, he wore a top to match his hair. You know how crazy that is, bro? Nah, listen. Hey,
Man, we
you're
live,
mad,
we
man.
live,
Still.
baby.
Fam,
We live.
if people were here from the jump with receding hairline, glasses, big chain of maze, now he's pulling up with purple hair. He's got tech vest, rings. Oh my god.
Dad shoes. Hey, men's has changed.
Man, don't fit there. The only one that's allowed to grow.
But this is the beauty of it. 5 years in, you gotta change, bro.
Bro.
Listen, I love the growth. The purple, I don't know.
You
I
think you're
love
the only
growth,
person that's
though.
allowed to switch up as
Hey,
well?
listen, we're all allowed
Bro,
a bit of growth.
everyone's changed. I had a fade. You had waves. You
Bro.
started with waves.
Fam.
He started with waves.
Bro,
Hey,
there was always culture comes.
We need to
Bro,
put
It
out,
just come.
we need to put out like a little throwback series
will,
or
we
something,
will.
just to remind the people of how long we've been doing this. So
honestly.
But listen, before we go any further, before we get into it, listen, as I said, if you are watching right now, you are now part of the movement. Just go and like, share, subscribe. If you're on
Yes,
socials, go and
likes.
tell everyone. FCM is live now. Let's go and get tucked in. Let's get everyone here. Listen, Sunday night's never the same again. Run up the likes now. We're gonna sort out the mud situation and whatnot. But listen, go and run it up now.
It's another thing.
hey,
There's another thing that I know people are asking about. Come on, the family. Listen, we never turn our back on family.
trust me.
We never turn our back on family. Listen, our producer, who everyone knows, is
Production.
Liège. Listen, he's stuck on a flight right now after going to the Milan derby. He will be here next week.
Trust me.
More than
Calm
you
down. They're gonna get
get
some. Calm down. Just calm down a little bit, bro. Just calm down.
Hey.
That's all. He's gonna be here next week. We never turn our back on family.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Don't worry about that.
But let's get into it, man. The people have been waiting. Listen, football's a simple game. 2 teams, 11 on each side, you know? Big stadiums, love atmosphere. It's a battle. It's a battle. You have to try and win, you know? Not everyone can win. There has to be losers. There has to be participants. But before we can get to that, the people that win, do you know what they get? They get something special, something that's worth it. Something that makes the fans feel happy. Gets the punters on their feet. Gets the rounds going in the pubs. So wherever you are, if your team collected a W this weekend, hold tight the 3-point collectors.
This is a special one, man.
Special, man. They got through it as well for being the first 3-point collector on
Hey,
FCM
hey.
as well. That's like, you know them up to stats. So and so was the first person to score a goal at the end. That's through.
They can never take this away from me.
him.
Hey,
Hold
fair
tight
enough,
the 3-point
fair
collectors. Hold tight wherever you are. Put your threes up. We need to get that merchandise as well.
Nah, for real.
Hold tight the participants as well. Listen, we can't play football with just one team. So hold tight the participants. You know.
Big up yourselves, man.
And you know what? Listen, I'm sorry it has to be my boy, but hold tight the teams that are getting slapped up. You know what I'm saying? The teams that are getting a young.
Don't worry about that. I
young
got a
chap.
message before we get into the show.
Go on.
It's been a sad day. It's a sad one
Talk
for
to
me.
us.
Sad weekend, not just because of Manchester United, but a real men general in Woy.
Director.
Do you know what he's done for the community? Look, he's got in this picture. He's wearing LV.
Probably got a day on as well.
Real men general is ill at the moment. Can guys please give a round of applause for Woy Hodgson?
Hey.
Round of applause because he'll.
Hey, we wish him all the
Thoughts
best.
and
man.
prayers, man.
Speedy
You
recovery,
know, we
my brother.
applaud, we applaud. Yeah.
The minutes applause that they
Come
do
on,
at
man.
games.
This
Yeah.
is my boy. It's listen, real men.
RMA, Real Men Association.
76 years old, managing in the Premier League. Come on, man. Not even Fergie could do that.
Woy.
That's what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna keep him here.
Speaking of Fergie,
You're in my thoughts.
Fergie's dynasty, we've had those conversations on previous iterations of the show, so I'm not going to get into that, but we have to talk about United. You are our in-house United representative. Where should we start? The result?
I know this brother came with notes.
Well, we've been away for 4 weeks, so there's a lot to. Let's jump into that game bro, because like Brighton again come to Old Trafford, and I think the last time they beat you, since then you've had an unbeaten home record. It's kind of like the thing you've hung your hat on.
Yeah.
But seeing that game yesterday, 3-1, I want to get Culture Cam's immediate thoughts, because I saw a tweet after the game that said, "Hey, I'm coming tomorrow to share my thoughts."
Listen,
Hey, do you know what?
Don't cancel me.
Hey, I want to know the inside scoop of.
I like what you did there. I like what you did there.
nice little bars there. Nice little bars. But listen,
3-1, bruv.
look,
At
That
home.
is not a pretty sight, man.
At home.
bro.
And consider Brighton as well made changes to their team as well. Adingra coming in. Saw some changes to their defense as well. But at home, brother, talk to me.
Look, where can we start, bro? Where can we start? When you're looking at the game against Brighton, it's a representation of everything that's been going on this season. I'm being dead serious now, yeah? I'm being 100% serious. There's an easy chance that Man United could have had 0 points this season. Nottingham Forest came to Old Trafford, scored 2 goals, went 2-0 up. Okay, United did a nice comeback. Wolves should have walked away there with 3 points, absolutely.
Yeah.
Spurs beat us. Arsenal beat us. And Brighton. Manchester United have been absolutely a joke this season, bro. An absolute joke. And it's not just started, yeah? It's not just started from this. We had one of the most dreadful pre-seasons as well. What's going on at Man United? People think it's just like, oh, get the players back from injury and it's just going to turn. Get who back from injury? Luke Shaw. You get him back from injury. Luke Shaw. Get Mason Mount. It's these type of things. Is it going to transform the team? Yeah. I don't know, because I'm seeing so many patterns to suggest otherwise, bro. You look at Man United at the moment, and this is the thing. People are going to be like, oh, don't get onto the manager, I'm going to talk about a lot of things. But on the manager side of things, we're a year in. I still don't know what Manchester United are trying to do on the pitch.
Yeah.
I still don't know. And look, everyone, let's just be 100% honest. All Man United fans, let's be honest. When Ten Hag came in, we thought we're going to get passing football. We thought we're going to get technical ballers all over the pitch. What am I seeing here? He turns around and he says, I'm trying to make us the best transition team or whatever. Last season, we gave the benefit of the doubt because World Cup year, a lot of football, contextually, the Ronaldo situation, all this type of stuff. So we're just like, all right, it became a results game. But this season, what's the excuse? I'm seeing Ange over there transform the club. I'm seeing De Zerbi come in and make Brighton a serious... They can be potentially pushing for the Champions League. It's too long now into this cycle for me to be watching Manchester United and not know what's going on the pitch, bro. I don't know what we're trying to do. Are we trying to be a possession team? Are we trying to be a transition team? Are we trying to be fast and furious? I don't really know what we're trying to do. And if you go back to Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, immediately, 16-17, immediately. Remember, everyone started pulling up hamstring, because he's like, we're going to press relentlessly. Is that what Manchester United are trying to do? I don't think so, bro. I don't know what he's trying to do out here at all on the pitch. And that's my concern. My concern this season, my thoughts this season was, I don't think we're going to win the title. I don't even think we're going to compete for the title. Yeah. But I was like, okay, top 4 and identity. I'm seeing no identity. And on top of that, I'm seeing no results.
Yeah.
So let's keep it 100. The manager's under pressure. I'm sorry to say, people.
Was he not under pressure coming into the season, though? Because last year you'd finished third. You got the domestic trophy. No matter what, you've almost got to press on after the money you've kind of spent. But then you look at how the other rivals are strengthening. Yeah. And you really say you would have pressed on prior coming into the season. But then I just feel like he's almost stuck in a rock and a hard place this year, that no matter what, he's going to be crucified.
Why?
Because if he finishes third now again, gets a domestic trophy, it's not progress on last year.
No, but it's about what you're seeing on the pitch. And it's about what you're seeing on the pitch.
That's where I agree. And then you kind of have to look at, I'll be honest with you, the signings he's made within that time as well, because I feel like those have reflected his system.
Who?
The Anthony, the Mount,
You want to be the best transition team in the world, he said, but you sign Anthony. And this is Anthony transition? It doesn't make sense.
So at that point, do you have to look at it though as a club? Because you see with Jurgen Klopp, you use him as an example, but Jurgen Klopp, when he came in, okay, he wanted Götze, okay, he wanted Royce or Shirley, whoever it was, but they said to him, no. We'll give you, Sporting Director said, we'll give you Mo Salah, we'll give you Mane. That's what you work with. Is that where he needs that kind of help? Because you've always said, It
hierarchy.
it's the hierarchy thing. So the thing I've noticed, this all of a shift now is like attention on Ten Hag, and I understand the style of play. But you said there, you've got injuries in your team. Yeah, you can say Varane is a part of it. Luke Shaw is a part of it, bro. Like, you have to acknowledge these players.
Okay, I agree with you in terms of the hierarchy, 100%. But a lot of the times, you know, the hierarchy is a massive issue.
Yeah.
It is a massive issue. When I saw this window, I was on AFTV at Turkish. I said, listen, after that window especially, I'm not optimistic going into this season. Absolutely not, right?
Remember,
So I fully agree with that side of things. But there's some things that you can control as a manager, and that's on the pitch. I will never ever say the board are amazing for him, and the Richard Arnolds and the John Murtos, all that type of stuff. Absolutely not. But what you can actually control is on the pitch, is how your players go out there. Why is it every single time in the second half we come out as if he wasn't even speaking English in there, bro? We come out like clueless, like what's going on? Do you know what I mean? We don't know what to do. The way we shape, the way we set up, that's down to the manager, bro. And that's my part, where we can have a whole UDG, we can have a whole discussion about the board. But I'm solely talking about on the pitch. I wanted to see identity. I want to see progress in that respect. Third for me again, but the style of play is implemented. By the way, a lot of people think style of play, anytime you say that, means it has to be like Brighton and then Pep. It's not that. It's about what do you want to do and how are you guys going to execute it. And what I'm seeing is we're in the middle. We don't really know what we want to do. And that's reflecting on the pitch. A lot of these players are hiders, by the way. A lot of these players, they're going to throw this manager under the bus like they do all the time. They're going to use the Sanchos and all this type of stuff as an excuse. They do this all the time. And eventually you're going to see, oh, the players are downing tools. They must not be happy. It's always going to happen, right? It's always
cycle.
So my thing is, we can't really get into like how do you solve Manchester United, because it's a whole mess. You mentioned last season how ultimately you understood and you could tolerate the football because of everything that happened.
Yes.
And of course you had Rashford having an amazing season and everything. He's now one of the characters that people are now...
Rashford saved his ass last season. Let me tell you that. Without Rashford last season, the way we were setting up, the way we were getting results was by playing on the counter and just catering to Rashford's goals. This season now, Rashford has not started this season well. And one thing we see about Marcus Rashford is one season he's like this, next season he's like that, next season he's never given us a base level of consistency. But if he drops form now, I'm telling you, Ten Hag's job rides on Marcus Rashford's form, bro. And if his form continues like this...
So wait...
So this is where I wanted to go.
So United fans are actually looking at it like Ten Hag has to go at some point this year. Because in my eyes, I look at the Arsenal situation. Okay.
Not me.
Okay. So you're happy to ride with Ten Hag no matter what happens this season?
What happens this way? That's an exaggeration.
You see?
No. Well, hold on.
Okay. Let's clarify some parameters.
Because for me, this way it gets interesting. Last year, you tolerate that football. This year, you want better football.
Yes.
There's more at stake here. You have Champions League as well.
Yep.
So we're gonna see this on a bigger scale now. Like, what happens if this season is not anywhere near what last season was? Because already the leading pack is starting to move away.
If it depends what you're talking about. If Man United don't make Champions League this season, I'm sorry, his job's on the line, mate. Like, let's get realistic. But you man are talking about end of the season. I'm worried if Ten Hag's gonna make it to January, and I'm being dead serious right now. I'm worried if Ten Hag's going to make it to January. Champions League.
Yeah, I could tell.
Away at Galatasaray.
You're nervous about that.
Away at Galatasaray.
Welcome to hell.
Away at Bayern Munich. I'm worried, bro, because the pack's already moving. You're already seeing Arsenal. Yeah, okay, we'll get into Arsenal. Their performance ain't too great, but then Arsenal doing their thing. Liverpool are like, hold on, did you man forget about us? Man City and Ange is doing what Ange is doing. Do you know what Spurs are doing? What Ange and Spurs are doing? They're making Ten Hag look bad. They're making Ten Hag because everyone's looking at it like, but they're looking at it. Everyone's looking at it and like, how can Ange do this in 4 or 5 games and Man United can't play like this over a year? So there's teams that are already moving and Man United are falling away. We've lost 3 games in our first 5.
Yeah.
We lost 9 all last season. You think?
Here's the thing.
Hold on.
I just feel like I feel like that's the dangerous thing though. Is you lot are using the barometer of the Eddie Howe's at Newcastle, the Zerbi, Spurs at Ange. I understand maybe that was a bit chaotic, the scene he'd come into, but this is Manchester United we're talking. I hate to say that line, but Bro, you know fixing that was never going to be a one-season job. It was never going to be an 18-month job. And I understand there might be moments in difficult moments like this early on, but last season you had early moments, difficulty early on. Now it's okay, I get it. You get the big home defeat, maybe a Champions League, you get a defeat. These are the kind of pressure moments I feel like you almost have to back your manager to the hill, because otherwise you're going to end up in that same vicious circle that you were talking about, where it's the fifth manager now and you're talking about players down in tool. Now the new one comes in and you're talking about structure issues. You're talking about the Shaws, the Wan-Bissakas, the Rashfords all over again. You need to stick with, in my eyes, I feel like United have to stick with this guy. But as you said, his job this season has to be that you have to imprint your identity on this team. So
you're talking about identity, yeah? Listen, my club's going through their own troubles, yeah? But I feel like with every situation, you need a foundation. And I think the hard thing for probably United is that there's no style of play. We're ridiculously bad on the road.
Oh my.
We don't look good on the eye. The talent ID is despicable. There's not many things that are signs of encouragement. Typically, your signs of encouragement are this youth player's popping out. Last season, it was homegrown talent, Marcus Rashford. He's saving us. You can't even have the youth popping out. They're turning on Hannibal. They're like, why are you celebrating? There's so many things that would usually be your pillars of foundation that are not there, and it's like, which one can he turn around quickest?
Hey, look.
Style of play is difficult to turn around mid-season. We know that. So I don't think your style of football is going to change dramatically.
Then are you coaching out here, bro? Are you coaching? Because you guys see me tweet all the time.
Coach, please.
Whoever the manager, coach, please. Now I gotta look inward. Now I gotta look within. Can my manager coach? Because no, honestly though, because look. My thing, the reason why, do you know why I don't feel sorry for Ten Hag yet? Like, by the way, I don't want him out right now. I'm going to see how the season goes, of course. I don't want him out. Ideally, because I know the board and etc., the situation at the club is always crazy. How many teams have one right winger, he gets done for whatever. You have a next right winger, he gets done for it. Then you get the London right winger and he's moving mad as well. So all of a sudden we have no right wing. But I'm not even concerned. It's not even that. The reason why I don't really feel sorry for him is because of the men that he's put as his trusted men to lead this team forward. Yeah.
Who are they?
People like Wan-Bissaka, not good enough. Bruno, not good enough, bro. People are going to turn around and say, oh, how are you saying this? I'm tired of seeing every single week, yeah, Man United playing fodder or whoever, or Bruno playing for Portugal, and people saying, I just don't get, how can he not be world class? Because 9 times out of 10 when he's on the pitch, there's always a better midfielder than him. That's why he's not world class.
Yeah.
People like Rashford, we have seen this season, cool. Last season, nice, you did your thing, you ascended, whatever. But we have seen that with people like Bruno, with people like Rashford, with people like Wan-Bissakas, as your trusted men, there's a cap on how good your team are going to be. You're going to finish around 4th. If they're going to be your best players, you are in trouble. Let me just tell you that for free.
Are those two
Not
out of
just
those
them three.
Yeah.
They're not saying
Luke
it's
Shaw's, giving Luke Shaw's always lets Man United down eventually. Man United fans will sit here and say, oh, Luke Shaw's world class. If we have all these world-class players, why are we here, bro?
Yeah.
If all our players are so world-class, why are we
that's
here?
The issue.
That's where I'll say you have blood in your hands.
Gassing up these players.
Yeah, if you're going to say these are my soldiers and these are ones you're going to ride with, they're also going to be the ones you die with when the time comes.
100%. But
so
do you know what happens?
It's a double-edged sword.
People put them on a pedestal, and when it's time to criticize them on the pedestal that they have been put at, they then say, oh, why, bro? Look at everybody else, but
Here's the thing, though.
That's the problem.
But let me ask you, though, yeah, you say you don't feel sorry for Ten Hag. You look at the situation last year, walking in the Cristiano situation.
Yeah.
Now he's had the Anthony Sancho situation. Every couple of months or weeks this season, you've put out more statements than you've had points. Or wins, sorry, shall I say. Like, it just feels like he's constantly dealing with something. Is there not a bit of, and that's where I was saying that it's Manchester United, bro.
Do you know what I'd say to that,
just
though?
not a normal club. So I feel like it's like, you know what I mean in that aspect. So it's almost like Hollywood FC, if you like. But do you not feel sorry for him in that aspect, at least?
Do you know what's so tech about that? Yeah, you're right. But I just think United make situations worse for themselves. Like, every club has to deal with something. So don't get me wrong, some of the stuff they've dealt with is insane. That's like
those are all things out of his control as well. It's like,
but again, going back to what is in his control, has he done the best job that he can do? And again, the foundations. If we're talking about playing identity, recruitment, just personnel changes and everything on the road, has he done the best that he can do? There's question marks on it. Last year we spoke an ample amount of time and said, how can a Man United team not control a game of football?
Yeah, it's all the times the same thing. There's not surprised that Brighton beat Man United. Brighton,
No one was surprised.
Brighton, you can have 10 men out. Do you know Brighton's base of technical ability is better than Manchester United? Brighton are a better team than Man United. The only difference with Manchester United and Brighton is Man United have a bit more match-winning ability. You had like last seasons like Rashfords and Bruno's. They can win you a game.
Yeah.
But overall, their basis is not as good as Brighton. Brighton are a more cohesive team than Manchester United. It's just a damn fact. So we shouldn't be too surprised that they beat us. I'm being serious. You shouldn't be too surprised. They are a better coached and a better team. We just have the odd match winner that can win us games. But they are better than us.
Well, really one quickly, there's been a few going in, but this is like a really big one. If you haven't followed us before, when Super Chats come in, we have a Super Chat song. We have to tweak it slightly because obviously the name.
Nah, that's the old series. That's old era.
No more songs.
That's old
Let's just go straight to Super Chats then. We've got one from Fukudani's Army, and it says, Fuad, if you were 20 years younger, Erik Ten Hag signs you. Dutch nepotism.
I don't agree. And I've been seeing you lot do this. Anyone who's ever played for Ten Hag.
You know why you love Ten Hag? Because you gassed him. You were like a main seller.
Bro, of course.
You got blood on your hands for Anthony.
I don't have
You've got blood on your hands for Anthony.
I don't have blood on my hands for nothing.
You've got blood on your hands for Anthony. This guy gassed Anthony.
First episode, you want to throw allegations like this?
Yes. This guy gassed Anthony. Yo, I came to Fuad. Like,
What did I say?
I said,
what did I say to you?
Anthony guy
I want you
about?
to quote me correctly.
Fuad.
Be careful. Be careful, Cams.
I said to Fuad, yo, what's this Anthony guy about? Fuad said, yo, he's hard, he's skillful. Pause. He's skillful. He's got dribbling ability. He's got dribbling ability. He's got all. I was like, yeah, all right. He's gassed me up.
No, wait. What was
And
the
then
caveat? What was the caveat? Don't skip it.
What's the caveat?
I said to you, but he's never worth the money you lot paid.
I said that to you. I don't care about the money. Is he good enough to pay for Manchester United? You said yes.
Eventually, I said he'll come good, but I said he needs to be developed.
That's crazy.
Listen. Eventually he can be developed. He can be developed. You are idiots. But I think, listen, with Ten Hag, this is what I'm saying. I feel like 4 or 5 weeks ago there was none of these questions or anything like that, and now we've gone 4 or 5 games into the season. United have been disgusting these past 4 games or whatever. Partly is his fault, but I feel like there's just over criticism the past week.
So you think, well, you're more it's the players.
I'm more
I fully agree. The players are not good enough, though.
For me, I look at your team and I'm like, it's the same group. It's a similar thing when Spurs. I always say, oh, the Davises, the Sanchez, the Dyers, the Winks. It was always the same group that were costing us. Soon as you started waning those out, that's when things started to improve. And where I agree with you slightly is where you said the guys who he said are his guys. So when you're saying Shaw, Rashford, Bruno, if you're going to live by these guys, you're going to die by these guys.
If you live by your sword, you die by your sword.
This is
But I think the criticism has been over the top in my opinion. Like yesterday, I think the scoreline looked worse than the actual game at points. Like the first 20, 30 minutes, I thought you lot should have maybe got a goal.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Often Man United do that. Yeah, we should have had a chance. We should have done this. We should have done that. But in the end, you have to get these things done, bro. You have to get it done. And at the same time, look, I fully agree. There is a lot of players at Man United who have been here and doing the same things. When you have situations like McTom still out there, Martials and Maguire's, all this type of stuff that Lindelof's that we're having to do, Wan-Bissaka's, I get it. But it's the fact that this manager didn't come in and be like, these are not okay. With the Maguire, he did, but people like Wan-Bissaka's, Luke Shaw's, and these guys, I just don't think he's been ruthless enough with these guys. But they're not. It's not only that, bro. I do fully agree that the players always have excuses, bro. They do. Yes. But at the same time, a lot of these signings that Ten Hag made, people are already saying, "Oh, is Casemiro's legs going?" Lissandro.
Best player last year.
Remember when man were abusing me, saying I got Alessandro agenda?
You see, I knew he was waiting to spin the block on this one.
He's always got one in his
can't
pocket.
defend in wide areas.
He's always got one in his pocket.
Listen, last year you were all raving and ranting about Alessandro. Last year, Casemiro was the best DM in the world.
But
according to you, better than Rodri. Yeah,
but
according to you, better than Rodri.
It's Rodri's proven himself now. He's better. But Alessandro,
they changed quick now.
Remember when I got abused for saying in wide areas and when he's drawn out, he's a mini Mags.
Listen,
there's a lot we can go into on United, but obviously it's not just about United.
On Brighton. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think I was about to say we need to kind of give Brighton credit as well.
Pascal Gross, your boy.
Your boy.
What'd you say? What was it you said? First 2-3 months?
Bro, he's the best.
Ballon d'Or contender.
Pascal Gross between August to November is the best player in the world. And he has done it again, bro. He has done it again. The guy, fam, he might be the most underrated player in the Premier League, bro. His touches is excellent. He can pass. He can play in like 10 different positions. Yeah. He scores goals when you need. He assists when you need. That guy is a class player, bro. Yeah. I think he's a very good, very, very good player. And as I'm saying, we're going through gross sanity right now. This is gross sanity. Gross sanity.
With Brighton, my thing is, I can't remember what game it was this season. The teams that basically move to them aggressively get points against them, you know, because they play this expansive style of football. And it's Dezembre. It's like, woo. A lot of teams are kind of wowed by it, but there's certain teams where like, no, we're not doing that today, and they get results. It'll be interesting to see how their season goes this year, because now they're a bigger proposition. People are expecting more. And in big games, they do turn up. They do get results that they did against United. I think
most goals in the Premier League so far.
Exactly. There's that. Welbeck has scored, I think it's 5 goals against United. Now he's popping up doing his things. And they've always got these hidden gems that are going to pop up and do something for them, which is amazing. The new one. Exactly. You saw. I put it out. I said this season he's going to do something.
He's a decent one, man.
So someone's actually, if you just
Van Hecke at centre back, is it the Dutch guy? Decent player.
Got 2 super chats here. Chuds 101 says Teto wanted Leach as an inverted left back for a reason. Interesting. Ibby says Brighton got 50-year-olds Onana and Welbeck and still balling out. What do Brighton do in training? They're so composed.
I was going to say, actually,
back to front.
I want to ask him quickly, what have you made of Onana early on? Because I know you were probably like a big proponent of bring Onana in. It's going to improve our high line. But there have been some big gaps early on, and I've said he's gonna make those. But similar like I'm saying with Ten Hag, you got to ride it through to get to the other side.
My thing is, I think there's a whole band of people that are hoping Onana fails so they can make it out like, you lot shouldn't have sold David De Gea. Listen, let me tell people right now, no matter who replaced David De Gea, he had to leave the club. He was finished. Last time I checked, has David De Gea got a club?
No, he's still free agent.
OKC top, training in his garden.
At least he's training, man. No days off.
He's training in KD tops right now. Do you know what I mean? So, look, De Gea had to leave the football club. I hope people don't try and see it as like he didn't have to leave. I'm seeing some people say, oh, he wasn't the issue. He wasn't the problem. De Gea was a massive problem. But you see, this is where I come back to the situation with Ten Hag and Onana. We brought in Onana to be playing out from the back, blah, blah, and help the team build.
The people.
All I've seen really is us looking to Onana as if he's our playmaker now. Is he our playmaker, or is he just helping us play from the back? He looks like our playmaker out there. Against Arsenal, Gary Neville was saying in commentary, they might need to get this guy in midfield. But now what's happening is United are playing so poorly that Onana's not even doing what we signed him for. He's now actually just playing like a normal keeper. If that was the case, we should have brought flipping Nick Pope. We should have brought some one of them type of keepers, because all he's having to actually do at this moment is claim crosses and make saves. So basically, we're asking him to just be a better version of David De Gea. But that's not why we brought him in. But now we're trying to get him to play this type of football with this team, and it's looking like, okay, he makes a pass, they pass it back to him. He passes to this guy, he passes it. But then it looks like, what's next? Who's going to claim and who's going to come and get the ball in the second phase? Who's going to come in? How are we going to move on from there? And that is a massive issue at the moment. I know a lot of people are talking about his shot stopping. His shot stopping is looking a little bit, he did make some good saves against Brighton. So I've always known his shot stopping is not like elite level, but what he can offer you otherwise is going to benefit. But the problem is we're not using that. So now it's just looking like you just got this Donny with a high topping goal looking
this is what I want to ask you, because obviously
looking mad out here, bro. We got him looking mad.
Bro said we got Mark Simpson,
bro. We just got him looking mad out here, bro. And by the way, he needs to cut that. Man United goalkeeper. Anyway,
you know, do you remember Dave Chappelle in?
It's all right.
Anyway,
obviously Ten Hag's come out and said that he wants to be this transitioning team, one of the best transition teams in the world. From what you see with the components he's brought in, Onana, do you reckon that we can get an iteration of that this season? Of a world-class transition football team?
No,
for Man United?
We don't have the players for it. We do not have the players to be a world-class transitioning team. We have one of the best players on the break in Rashford. We have Bruno, who's good at outlet balls and stuff. But overall, we do not have a team to be world-class. Do you know who can be a world-class transition team? Teams like Liverpool. When Salah, with Diaz, with Nunes. That's a team that can be world-class in transition. With Robbo flying that way, with Trent just whoosh. That's a team that can be the best team in transition. Not Manchester United, where our DM gets the ball, he can't pass it. Wan-Bissaka gets the ball, he can't pass it.
Ends up with Onana.
It ends up back to Onana, and he's just moving it with his studs. We cannot be it. And that's my problem as well. Did you, man, just see Ten Hag's presser? I'm telling you now, man, when you start looking clueless in the presser, it's worrying.
It's when, do you know when they...
It's when they got him. I told man this about Potter. Everyone was on to me.
When they got him, they got
clueless.
Ten Hag good with the whole... He said they spent money, and then they went, the squad cost less than 20 mil.
When you start looking clueless in the presser, you are under pressure, bro.
You want him like Arteta saying, my chest is here.
But
Come for me, guys.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, listen, we could talk United all day, but I want to talk about another team that has actually managed to implement a style of football. It's probably one of the exciting teams in the league right now.
5th.
Managers just won Manager of the Month. New midfielder they signed. We're talking about recruitment. Player of the Month.
My boys.
Fuad Abdullah Kadani.
Hey.
What is your manager cooking?
Listen, you see me smiling, innit? Like,
Flipping hell, mate.
bro, I've been enjoying football this season, you know. The way last season ended, you don't remember the therapy, the hug session.
Oh yeah, you don't. The Avengers.
Go and support your Tottenham friends.
Yeah.
Talk to Frank. We were saying,
Hug a Spud.
Yes, you remember Hug a Spud. Oh, how times have changed. Yeah. But the way I look at this kind of first period is like honeymoon successful. Is how I look at it. You look at, I think we had the second easiest fixture list for the first 5 games. I think we've done our job. I think what you're exactly asking of your manager in implementing an identity tactically, creating a new culture at the club. You've just lost your biggest player in your club's history 2 days before the season starts. And then you've also got a bunch of new signings that have come in where there's question marks around them. Van der Ven, Vicario, Udogi. People are thinking, who are these guys? Even me, I was skeptical of the manager himself. But brother, what I've seen and how early it's been happening as well, you can't help but be impressed. And I think I was even saying it on DR the other day, like it's hard to even hear rival fans, they're not even criticizing him. Like everyone seems like they're on this Ange loving. And I'm just like, listen, that's what happens when you're almost like a top man on top of being a top coach.
That's what happens when you're real men.
It's the way he talks in pressers, the way he's talks about his players, the way even when things are going right, he'll tell you, nah. There's things that can still be worked on. You're seeing improvements in individuals. You're seeing improvements structurally, patterns of play. We got dumped out the Carabao Cup, which I think was low-key a blessing in disguise. I can't lie.
Oh, no.
Come on, man. Come on. You do so well.
You do so well.
Come on, man.
No.
You do so well.
I tried that one. I tried that. Blessing in disguise became working.
Yeah, scumbag. Just quickly. I want to briefly interrupt. It's not super chat, but there's a few people that are saying that the new movement is Hugger Red, and I can't lie. Those two might stick. Hugger Red might stick.
This is what I like.
Hugger Red might stick.
Hold on.
You ain't getting away.
Hugger Blue.
You ain't getting away. Are we coming to you? Don't worry.
He's just getting away with this.
We're coming to them. Don't worry.
You get some.
You see what happens to big clubs. You see what happens to big clubs. All their attention.
You get some. You spoke first, innit? But with what you're saying, I like the point you said about many people that know about him is going to be his business. I'm going to put this to you, because I've seen you have thoughts on like the Potters, the Zerbis, on all these sort of managers that kind of come out of nowhere, come playing good football and whatnot. What is the measurement of success for Spurs this season? Because it looks like he's getting the best out of the players that we're looking at, they're struggling.
Yeah.
We can see that there's a style of football that the fans are entertained by. What is the measurement of success for you guys this season? Realistically.
Realistically, I said coming into this season, I think every Spurs fan, there was the lowest set of expectations we've had in years. But looking at the way we've kind of started the season, you're kind of thinking there's still tests to come. We've got North London derby next. We've got Liverpool the week after that. These are the next 2 weeks where I'm like, all right, now we get a real test of the barometer of this team. But in my eyes, top 6. It has to be, 100%.
Still,
listen,
when you're looking at a week, you're looking at Man United week.
5 game weeks. I've seen a Spurs team Christmas time be top 3 and still capitulate at the top 4. So I'm not getting too carried away on anything at the moment.
I know what they're trying
Trust
to
me.
do. Yeah.
No. Listen.
We're little Spurs. We're little Spurs.
Hold on. Are you telling me pre-season preview you had us top 7?
No, I didn't.
Are you telling me you had us top 7?
Oh wait, hold on. Top 7.
So
I didn't really do top 7 predictions.
Even people had Villa finishing above us because Villa had the best window. Yeah, me and you know about Villa hype. Yeah, people were hyping it for real though. And I said, listen, you lot can predict all you want. This season for me was just about creating a culture, and next season we will see what we can do.
Can I actually say, based on this game that happened, obviously people say it's Sheffield United, but getting those 2 goals late on,
bro.
As a Spurs fan, you're not used to moments of mentality and stuff like that. Was that?
Oh, they did this at Leicester, man, with Conte, man.
No, but did that feel like, okay, there's something?
No, all throughout the season. I think the United game as well, where they kind of bossed us in our home ground. You saw in many games we've seen us in the second half continue to rise, and I think in tough moments we see the game through in the end. I think even Brentford, the way we came back after 2-1 and then come back 2-2. But personally, I don't think it's like, oh, it's revolutionary, everything's been changed. No, we've seen progression and it's good. But now we have to keep it going. We have to also take into account the teams we played. Played Sheffield, we played Bournemouth, we played Brentford, played a United that looked dusted, let's be honest, at this point. So it's good. We've done what we need to do, but there's still plenty work to do, and there's gonna be moments where it's ugly.
Listen, we had probably like an easier start, and if you look at the comparison,
I know you're the only team that had an easier start than us, and you picked 5 points in that.
5 points,
but that's what I'm saying. We've dealt what we've needed to do. For me, this season, it's get top 6, build a culture, build togetherness in that team.
Bro, you can raise your expectations through that.
We can.
No, because
just like we did with Arsenal last year.
Thank you. During the season,
at some point during the season, you
address it. You address it. You're looking at Manchester United. I know you were thinking there's going to be a Chelsea resurgence. Chelsea ain't coming back anytime soon. Let me tell you that.
Poch man.
No, we're going to get to that. Yeah, we will. Chelsea ain't coming back anytime soon. Man United are looking like it's going to be in disarray.
You still got Newcastle.
Newcastle, hype.
You still got Brighton there.
You guys can't compete
Newcastle,
with
Brighton.
Well, you can't go
Arsenal, City, Liverpool. That's 5 teams
Arsenal,
there.
Liverpool, and City.
Arsenal, Liverpool, City.
They're banked.
Then that 4th spot, there's Newcastle, Brighton, and us.
And what, you can't battle that?
We're mixing that. We're in that mix.
That's what I'm saying.
But you want me to say we're locked in for that?
I'm not saying your expectation.
Top
now
6,
you should be looking at it as like top 4.
Don't. I know what you lot are trying to do.
Because think about it.
Things are nice, and now they want to try and put pressure on Spurs fans.
But think about it. No.
Top 6 was the aim.
Okay.
Top
Do you
6
admit
is the
that there's a
aim.
window of opportunity this season?
Or opportunity for what?
Spurs.
The top 4.
For what? Champions League football?
Yes.
Of course there is.
Look what's behind you.
Remember, top 5 gets top 4 gets Champions League this season as well.
I think you have to do good. I think you have to do good in Europe. Apparently, the English team
have a glance at us. Look behind you.
Hey, I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. I know I see it there. I'm trying not to. I miss that baby.
The good days.
I said you missed that baby. As if
the
you
music.
Yeah, as if you.
What's the last final you got?
Huh? We're 3-time champs.
Shut up.
We're 3-time champs.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't.
My only thing is before anything else, yeah. That moment where he said that comment that he said about the Champions League, about the Carabao Cup, for me, that was a red flag. That was a red flag.
Just say on the Carabao.
Why did he create such an extreme? That's my thing. Why did he create such an extreme with? We'll rather have a good finish instead of finishing 10th with the Carabao. Why would a season without European football, a good Spurs team, why does it have to equate that winning the Carabao means you're going to finish 10th? Why can you not win the Carabao and also finish it and hit your target? He was feeding into Spurs and Daniel Levy mentality there. Let me tell you that.
You lot are not looking at it because you're going to have to rotate the squad at some point. And I felt like that was... Now, here's the thing. The Carabao, when we played at Fulham rotated the team as well. That Spurs rotated side shouldn't be losing to that team. But all for me that showed was, you look at that entire lineup, every Spurs fan before the game, as soon as they saw that line, more than likely we're going out. This has NS Mora written all over it. This has Dinamo Zagreb, manager in jail, written all over it. Because why? It was the same, just like we were talking about 5 minutes ago, the same group of players. The Sanchez's, the Lo Celsos, the Davises. It was the same group. So it's a case of, for me, he's tried to give the B team an opportunity. They did not take it.
He tried to throw that, and he threw it.
Listen, I don't know. Are you actually telling me now Ange is going into games and saying, you know what, the Carabao Cup lads,
listen, no
don't need
manager-
it, mate. Yeah, throw it.
No, obviously.
Is that what you're telling me now?
Obviously, he's not saying boys. He's not saying boys.
Come on,
Throw
he's
your
given
competition.
he's given a rotated team a chance, and they had the opportunity, but they've shown once again that outside of that 11, which is why I said this year, we need to focus on building that culture, fixing that starting 11, because that starting 11's been a mess. How many years have I been screaming about that defense? Finally, we have 4 competent players, and we have a competent keeper. Let's just build some foundations in place. Before we get to expectations, we're 5 games in, and guys are asking me for Champions League football again.
Confident for North London derby? Confident for North London derby?
Yeah.
Don't get nervous. Starting it is shaking, do you know what I mean? Hey.
On the road, obviously, like, your main booter that gets business done in that game is no longer around. Obviously, that's a big miss.
Yeah.
But we always say that football's about momentum. You're saying about getting the starting 11 right, but you want to get into a good stride.
Yeah.
First 5 games, that's good momentum. It's a nice little foundation to move on from.
100%.
How do you feel against we'll go into Arsenal next. And before we go into Arsenal, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, like, do all of that stuff. Super chats if you want us to read out questions as well. How do you feel going into that game?
Good, to be fair. Honestly, it's one of those where everybody in the team has played a part so far. Kulusevski getting his 2 goals. Son's had his hat-trick moment. Richarlison's now got 2 in the last 2 games, the Carabao and this one. And credit to him as well for that game, because he come on and was actually the game changer, getting the goal, getting the assist. What's up? I see you putting your hands there.
I got a question. I just got a simple question, because I know what you're going to try and do. You're going to try and...
I ain't doing no pre-hype, nothing.
I'm just asking a simple question.
God.
Are you winning the North London derby next week?
I don't believe so. Listen, we're talking Emirates here. I can't remember the last time we went to the Emirates and won. I think Arsenal as well. You look at their performances and they haven't been the greatest, and this could almost be the game where they're like, you know what, we need to lock in. You look at the last North London, I think the last 2 have been 3-0. So as much as we've got good momentum and
this
good confidence going into it, listen,
it's a big Ange.
A draw, I'll walk away with that.
I'll
walk away content. But
I'll just say doing that antics next to big Ange.
You lot are trying to get too carried away with 5 games. You lot are getting a little too carried away.
Bro, literally, bro.
But now, listen, it's a good time to obviously be at Tottenham right now. But that bubble can burst very quickly if we go North London derby and then get snuffed within the first half. So
it will.
That's what you want, you see. He wants me to run out the gas and then the bubbles burst.
It will.
I will be there. This question I want to ask you. We often talk about the Odegaard, Maddison thing and everything.
Yeah.
As far as signings go, how impressed have you been by James Maddison?
Signing of the season so far for me. 30 million.
In Premier League?
Yeah.
Signing season?
Yeah, signing of the season for me. 40 million, I think you look at...
Ooh, you reckon?
40 million, well, and we sent Harry Winks the other way, so technically it's 30 million.
Got a wild card in there, though.
Where's your
Ward-Prowse. Very.
Yeah,
listen,
you know, ball. There we go.
You know me, bro.
That's bang
you
for
know
your
me,
buck.
man. I know ball.
Gareth Southgate.
Listen.
David Moyes.
Those two are definitely the front runners. But for me, Maddison, it's how I think he's going to run this whole team. And I think Ward-Prowse will do something similar at West Ham. But I think now he's almost been given a bigger platform than what he had at Leicester. And I think it's just, you're going to see so much more of him. And I think coming in early as well, taking the vice captaincy, you can see he's infectious in the dressing room. I think he's going to make the Spurs team his own, essentially.
Perfect move.
Son will be the captain or whatever, but he's really going to be the face of it.
Some players are made for clubs.
Yeah.
Madison is made for Spurs.
The thing is, you know, when you can see that he feels already like the club is my club.
Oh, of course.
Can do it. That's why that game, obviously, people say the comparison is brazy. You can say whatever you want. He's going to relish the opportunity to be like, I need to show everyone that.
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
How come none of your 1 million signings are up for signing a season so far?
Listen, man.
I mean, they've made so many. The odds are stacked with them.
Listen, man.
Bro,
they've made so many signings.
Got 60 picks to choose from.
Oh, they made so many signings.
That's the problem. It's too many.
On average, they should be in the conversation, surely.
Concedo.
When you're special, you're special.
Bro.
Man. James Maddison, what a player. JM. Madden's Cov, you know how it goes, man. Listen,
Nah,
speaking
quality,
of Arsenal,
man.
let's quickly talk about Arsenal.
Speaking of Arsenal, you mean speaking of Chelsea?
No, we're going to Chelsea.
Oh,
But
yeah,
obviously, North London.
Yeah, get away today.
We've got to leave the trunk for Chelsea. Obviously, result against Everton,
1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0. I want to kind of lump them and Liverpool together. Like, who would we say, based on what we've seen so far this season, is really going to go machine for machine with City?
It's tough. I think Liverpool are going to be in the mix. But I think Arsenal are definitely going to be in the mix. You look at this game, Everton did nothing. Oh, listen, I said in my group chat, oh, well, you think Arsenal dropping points with Declan Rice in the team now? Goodison, hype, man, that's done. That's done with steel in the team like Deckers. They're not going to lose that, bro. Bro, it's a different time now, bro. They can go to games like Goodison when you got players like Declan Rice and you're going to battle and you're going to walk away with 3 points. I said on the Big Six as well, Arsenal will win 1-0. Get in, get out. That's what Arsenal can do now. They haven't started the season exciting. Listen, Arsenal for me were the most exciting team in the league last year. This season, they're not. But I remember when Liverpool won the league in 1920. For me, 18, 19, 17, 18, 16, 17 were probably more exciting. 19, 20, they just found the perfect blend of we're going to efficiently murder you. And they did that in a crazy way. Maybe that's the way Arsenal go. And maybe this is why Arteta's trying to tinker it a little bit, because maybe teams are going to start figuring out. Let's not forget, Arsenal ended last season pretty poorly. So maybe he's like, we need to find a different chink to our armor. You know what I'm trying to say? But this is a big result. People shouldn't be talking about this one as a bad performance. They've got hoodoo. They had some hoodoo at Goodison, and they got rid of it.
This
come on, man, you think Deckers is walking in there without 3 points?
When Shaq,
come on, man, let's not joking with that one, man. Don't joke with that one, blood. Don't joke with that one, bro. They wouldn't let Deckers go to a big team. Listen, I haven't been on stock.
No!
Scam!
damn.
I haven't been.
Hey, we need a jar for that.
I haven't been on this platform since Deckers signed. Everybody knows what I was saying about Deckers before he went to Arsenal. I was standing firm. Hey, Arsenal fans, don't act like you've always rated him, by the way. I remember when he batted up Eddie and Nketiah, remember? After the game, and they were saying, he served your mum jollof fries. His mum gave you jollof fries. We hate Declan Rice. I was there in the trenches with Deckers. Now look at him. He's one of them. North London forever. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Big man ting, bro.
We just, obviously, that's like in depth on Arsenal. The Liverpool side of it, like, what do we think? Like,
We didn't go no in depth on Arsenal. Go on,
I'm talking
lads.
about, you were saying about, because the question was like, who can be the closest? And with Arsenal, you kind of, you mentioned Declan Rice, you mentioned stuff.
Do you not think though with Timber injury, because that was supposed to be kind of depth for their defense, then you look at Havertz coming in. I think personally he's a front runner for one of the worst signings of the season at the end of the season. We're talking about best signings of the season. I think he could be one that kind of undoes all the good work they did in their midfield last year.
Do you know? I have a view on Havertz.
Bro,
you see what?
I'm dead serious.
You see what the issue with?
I know
Havertz
today you got that little cross that almost hit the bar, but it's like it's cute. Come on, man.
The issue with Havertz and that sort of type of sign is when you've got a high performing team.
Yeah.
If you're not anywhere near the levels, I can't afford to give you minutes to get going.
Yeah, he ain't got the dog.
Even if you're playing well on the right hand side, I can't move a player away from there just because I need to get you going, and that's where it's difficult. Could he start getting these couple minutes and stuff like that? Maybe he might start getting run-outs to get him going. But when your team's performing, managers don't have time. You know how we're saying coach stuff to coach? Managers don't have time to manage personal situations to optimize. Right now, like you said, we're in business mode. We got burnt last year. This year we want to be efficient. And I think that's where his issue is. I think by the time, the amount of game time and trust he needs, I don't know if Arteta will be able to have the diligence and patience to give that to him, because that means someone's got
he has the stubbornness to believe in himself though, and think, I signed this guy for 65 million. I need to make this work.
That's true.
Listen, he put him on the bench today though. You guys gotta remember,
which is exactly what I'm saying. It's like, listen, bro, we've tried it, but Everton, like you said, Goodson Park, I need to get something. I can't.
You think he was going to play Havertz against that midfield?
I mean, he did play Fabio Vieira. I mean, it's not like
Vieira's been
flip it out. It's not Patrick Vieira. Lads.
No, listen.
It's Fabio Vieira.
Respect him. He's earned his spot.
But you man are talking
he's
like
earned it.
Yeah, but you man are talking like Vieira's like going to add some steel in that. I said it's not Patrick Vieira.
Vieira over Havertz physically. Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
What?
Vieira over Havertz
physically.
I'll take it.
Now we're going crazy. We're going mad.
No, but you're talking about,
We're moving crazy.
skill. We're just talking about like
We're going crazy in here, bro. Oh, he turned the aircon on, flipping out, bro. We're moving crazy.
But no, in general, like that's what his issue is. I feel like he can still be a decent player for them. I think a lot of people have written it off already. Like, how many weeks win? What, 5 games?
What, written him off?
Yeah, people are saying
what side are you on, bro? He was your player.
He's your former player, bro.
There. There is a player in Havertz.
Bro, you said that for 3 years when he was at your club as well.
I know I did.
And now you lot are going to run me the same gimmick.
I still back him now.
I've seen this guy. And the worst thing is, I was a big fan of him when he was at Leverkusen, but we ain't seen that guy in a minute, bro.
And
we ain't even seen flashes of that guy.
That's the problem.
We don't know his best position.
Not to get into like a Havertz discourse.
Yeah.
You're talking about Bayer back then. That player was this sort of, when he gets to move into this 9 position, I think all of that's dead. I think for him, that right side is going to be the best place for him to play.
Yeah.
Defensively, he will graft.
Right side of what?
in the midfield.
I was going to let him land there.
That's where Ozil plays. I mean, sorry, that's where Odegaard plays.
This is what I'm saying. He's not going to get a run in there. This is what I'm saying. That's why it's difficult.
Either way.
That's for me. He's going to be defensive work, but he won't get the goal involvements that everyone else gets. So what's the point? That's what I'm saying. It's going to be difficult for him. That's my personal opinion.
I think he's definitely going to be tough for him, but I think Arsenal or Liverpool this season, for me, I don't think anybody's can contend with City. I think City are kind of running their own race. I think the Champions League, I said it before on DRs, I think Arsenal need to look at the Champions League and be like, yo, we can maybe do a deep run in this. You look at the European landscape of Real Madrid, okay, cool, they're the perennial ones always there. City, of course, are the favourites. Bayern Munich with Harry Kane. Outside of those 3.
Bayern Munich look tired too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, don't think the Premier League is the be-all and end-all is my thing. I know it becomes a thing where you came so close last year. I think Liverpool are on a let's just get back on track type of season this year. I think even if they finish second a little bit off, they'll see it as progression from last year. So I think City this year, the additions they've made in the summer as well, I don't think they've really missed a beat. I'll be honest with you. I think
Arsenal,
Doku,
European
Nunez,
pedigree.
Vardiol.
Don't joke.
And guess
with
what?
that
No.
one,
But here's that's the beauty of it.
Don't
I look at the AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli last year. I remember Lyon a few years ago. I remember RB Leipzig. Like, we see teams in the semi-finals always that were like, why the hell are you here? You haven't spent the most money. You don't have the most talented team. But you look at Arsenal, tactically adaptable manager. As you said, they brought in a few more depth players this year. Why not? Last year, when they were first for the first 27 weeks or whatever it was, everyone was saying, yeah, they're top 5 teams in Europe. Now you're in Europe. Can we see it? So my thing is, I just think City will run their own race. The others will kind of measure their seasons differently. But of course, there's that pressure.
Doesn't mean that they shouldn't run with them though.
Shout out Beto.
Hey.
Shout out Beto. Yo, he's not good. Let's get that. Let's establish
now
that.
You're bad.
Nah,
you're bad.
Come on, man.
Now you're bad. Because he's good. I like him.
Nah, bruv. He's
Premier
box
League
office.
bully.
I like to watch what he does on the pitch. You know what I mean?
Strain. That's what he is.
He's here to fight.
Yeah.
Football is secondary.
Why do you think Shunda signed him? He said,
No,
"I need
that elbow.
Man's elbowing, man's doing
People's
whatever.
elbow.
He looked at Saliba and said, let's engage in a foot race. Despite Saliba having that covered, he said, we're still going to race.
I see passion.
Nah, I like it, man.
When,
I like
when
dogs like
Calvin
that,
Lewin
man.
came on the pitch, he killed it all, bro. It was the Beto show,
Mask
blood.
is what I like, man.
Come on,
Let
man.
real men be on the pitch.
Come
We got a
on,
couple
man.
of super chats that so Rational Cat says, can we please talk about the best team in the league and stop with all the pretenders, speak on the best. Mediocrity can come second. I'm guessing he wants to talk about City. And then we've got another one from AJ that says the PR is a new star, Jeremy Doku.
Hey,
We can go and, I mean,
well, listen,
You wanna talk about it?
if we want to transition into that, I want to tell you, this is a message directly to Cams. You see your boy, Headband Man? He is in huge trouble this year, brother. You see? Because we had... Me and Cams have been, in case you didn't know, me and Cams have been going back and forth on Grealish for years now.
Now he's my boy, by the way.
That was his boy.
Now
That's
Jack Grealish my boy.
your
Last season,
boy.
it's his boy.
Yeah? Here's what... let's get the backstory.
Go on.
He, from championship days, Cams has had stocks in Grealish. He was like, yo, he's going to be one of the most creative midfielders in England. We saw the arc. We saw the trajectory. And I always said to him, yo, when he goes to a bigger club, though, ain't going to be how it was at Villa. See the first year? I had this brother cornered. What I tell you? Windows XP. He can't handle this new data. Hold this. He told me about the bus riders, bus drivers analogy. You know, in a title race, there's bus drivers and there's bus riders. Last season, I bought some stocks at their all-time low.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
You see, before the World Cup, I said, yo, you know what? Everyone now hates Jack Grealish. Let's invest some stocks. Let me see what Cam's got. Let me see if I can raise the stock. Second half of last season, brilliant.
Yeah.
One of the City's players of the season. But what we're seeing with Jeremy Doku now, everyone's a winger till a real winger steps in the room. Direct, 1v1, skillful, speed, demon. Everything Jack Grealish isn't.
Bro,
and you saw the way Pep spoke about him in the presser after the game.
The man said, I'm not doing this downloading data for one season.
That's what PMP does for you. Literally, that's
ready now.
Bro, I was at the London Stadium. I was working. I was at the London Stadium. I had to stand up and take notice of Doku. I was like, what am I seeing here? I was like, Jack, we might be in trouble here, bro. This brother's a problem, bro. You know what I mean? This brother's a problem. Bro. Like, honestly, bro, like, the guy was retaining it like Grealish. He was winning fouls like Grealish. But the other side, he was like, oh, I'm going to cook the hell out of you. And you know what? In fact, I don't know what Pep said to him at halftime, because he came out and said, give me the ball. Bap, goal, thank you very much. And then, hey. Yeah, I mean, honestly, bro, Doku, yeah, he was cooking. Grealish, you know, might have to look for that DLP number 6 role.
This is the central movement, yeah.
Maybe the number 6 role.
What
Alongside Rodri.
What was it that KDB did again?
Yo, he might have to look. Alvarez is playing in the 10 right now. He might have to start looking at that role. You get me? Because Doku was cooking, honestly, bro.
On a real, I remember when that sign happened, because we speak about players on the continent a lot, and we were like, we're really going to let Pep Guardiola run back speed demon time. We are in big trouble, bro.
The fact that City got such an open run to him was a baffling thing as well, I'll be honest with you. I know, like, everyone's got stacked wingers these days, but I just felt like, yo, we saw in Euro 2021, I felt like was his announcement to the world, where it's like, what? This guy's a freak of nature. Someone has to grab him. So for me, it was just baffling. But
it's because he had injuries as well, though. He had injuries as well.
True, and still raw as well. I think you need to give him time to develop.
But again, when you have, like, I think a lot of people were worrying he's going to come to Manchester City and then Pep's going to sort of tame this speed demon. But so far, we're seeing that.
Letting him play,
express yourself.
Yeah.
I remember that game where they said that Pep's at home fuming because he's just going to run wild.
Yeah.
But he's been allowed to express himself, which is quite refreshing to see from a City side as well. Like, you've got this winger that's saying, this passing stuff, wait later.
You saw that in his presser after the game yesterday as well. He said that, he goes, I was nervous the first game. And I think it's that thing you said of every time a player comes to City, they feel like they have to download the data. They have to understand the system before I can fully be myself. I think Pep has said to him, listen, I signed you to be the one off the shackles. Go and be off the shackles. And then second half you saw comes out straight away. And I said, that goal we saw yesterday, I feel like it's going to be like a trademark Doku move. I'm a lullaby. You shut up. See, only Vinny Jr. can shuffle the ball out like that fast twitch, movement like
under
that.
Control.
But you know what? With City though, man, honestly, like, people probably won't even want to speak about their performances or anything like that, because it just feels like this is what City do. But bro, 5 wins from 5. This is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous. And look, everyone always has these conversations. I don't think, listen, I'll be surprised if it ever happens again, an invincible season or anything like that. But listen, what else have City got to tick off? They said treble. They done that.
Formidables.
They're gonna do. They're probably gonna do the 4-peat. They've done the domestic treble. What else are they looking at? They may Centurion. They're probably looking at this invincible record. Pep is probably looking at it. Yo,
can't lie.
That's all I'm saying.
For me, I think it's got to be invincibles or back-to-back treble.
Do you reckon, based on the level of the Premier League this season, do you reckon that sort of feat is possible?
I think it's possible. I mean, they always beat Arsenal, so I can't even think to myself, can Arsenal be one of the teams to stop them? With all due respect, I've seen them beat Arsenal. There's Spurs at thingy. There's Spurs at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but also Liverpool. I just think Liverpool at Anfield. That's tricky, bro. That's tricky.
What I would say as well is, you know how we talk about City just going about their business. We have seen when City just get the result as well. Similar to Arsenal. It may not look pretty as we're used to seeing them, but they can get the result. And that's why I think that it could be possible. I don't want to say it's possible this year. Like, I feel like there's a bookie result in there. There's just one.
No, this is the Prem. That happens, but It's scary. It's scary.
It wouldn't surprise me if they've got it written down somewhere. Let's go for this.
Teams like West Ham away are those teams that you look at and think, oh, kind of booky. Haaland could have scored 5 yesterday.
Bro,
he could have
some
scored
of the
5.
chances he missed. I was like, bro, what's going on?
He could have
here?
scored
But-
5 if he really was serious. They could have walked away from there nearly like 7-1, bro. So honestly, City, it doesn't look like they're gonna stop. But we keep talking about like Liverpool potentially. I said Liverpool might be a team that can get a result against them, and the reason why I say that is because one, obviously Anfield is always ridiculous as Liverpool are, but also I'm just looking at the way Liverpool are playing defensively. Okay, they conceding a little bit, and some games are a bit chaos. But I'll be honest, bro, this is the most exciting Liverpool in ages for me since 17-18. I actually like watching Liverpool, bro. They're looking lit,
This
bro.
is already
What
the
iteration of this
third
team is it?
comeback win already?
What iteration of this?
That's
of
mad.
This Klopp generation is this now?
This is like that. What, he's like his third team now.
Third generation.
This is probably like his kind of building his third team.
This is the second team.
Because I'm talking about the team he inherited, innit?
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's not his team.
Yeah,
innit?
second team, I would say.
Yeah.
This is phase 2.
Yeah, okay.
Phase 2.
Yeah.
like, early days, what do we think? I can't lie. The Nunes off the bench, the Salah rejuvenated,
They've got the best attacking
quartet.
trio, if you like, or depth-wise, I
Yeah.
think, in the league, easily. I think as well, they remind me a little bit of, I said it, offset, Brendan Rodgers' year and Klopp's first year.
What,
where they're
SAS?
up front and in midfield, they can score goals and create chances, but they will concede goals and concede chances as well. And you'll see these types of comeback wins. You'll see Klopp looking like a masterstroke genius when he says, yo, these front 3 off, this front 3 on, and then they all end up scoring or whatever. It's like, yo, so as you said, I think they will be fun to watch this year, but I do think not getting that number 6 and not getting an extra centre back is what's going to cost them.
But I mentioned,
I know they got Endo, but when I say 6, you know what I mean. They were looking for that. They were looking for that kind of number 1.
A marquee piece.
Yeah, a marquee piece, and I just feel like Endo could come in and I think be a surprise signing.
They could do it in a different. They could do it in a different way, to be honest, bro. Like obviously, we're talking about competing. We still think City are probably going to be the ones there or thereabout, or probably win the league. But I still think they can compete with the team that they have. Yeah, I'm trying to say. You look at one thing I like. I've said it on Inside Scoop. The thing I like about Liverpool is that. And this is why they are the best transition team, and this is why every game that they play is fast and ferocious, because everything Liverpool do is forward, bro. Everything they do is vertical passing. It's obviously Trent didn't play last game, but it's Trent forward, it's Robertson forward, it's McAllister forward. Everyone that gets the ball, Nunes, Szoboszlai, he's right, he's left, he's always running forward. Nunes is always making a direct run. Diaz always making a direct run, and do you know what that's just allowed? It's allowed Salah to look at the whole team and be like, you man are all running forward? I'm going to drop a little bit deeper and I'm going to just playmate now. And he's added another layer to his game. He's always got assists. Salah's always up there with assists. But I'm talking about playmaking. He's now starting to add a playmaking.
I want to jump in.
He was doing that though.
Last season he was, but this season you can see there's a bit more intent to it. Then. So he's now the top.
He was at 3 assists last season.
He's got 63 Premier League assists.
Okay.
So he's the top African that he's overtaken Mahrez. When you think about it, which is crazy in itself, overtaking Mahrez.
Crazy.
But he's got 200 goal contributions in the Premier League in 223 games. Do you want to know?
That's ridiculous.
Do you want to know who got there faster? The only person?
Wait,
what?
But say it. So
200 goal contributions in 223 Premier League games.
and only one person got it faster.
Only one person's got there faster.
Harry Kane.
I was gonna say Kane or Thierry Henry.
Thierry
Henry. People don't forget about what demon Thierry Henry was, you know.
But that speaks to the madness of Mo Salah.
Nah,
but I like the point you're saying though. He's gone for, yeah, you lot have your fun. Let me try this.
And especially when you look at the profiles of Diaz and Nunes and a Jota who can sit in the box, like I can feed those guys and they can be the runners, they can be the finishers, and as
but
you know,
Salah's
extends his career just that little bit longer.
Salah's very goal driven in terms of he's one of the only players that publicly come out and say, I want to be top scorer, I want to win the golden boot. He's one of the only, you know, everyone is about the team, all that hype. He just says it, you know what I'm trying to say. So it will be interesting to see, is he going to maintain those numbers that we know Salah can hit? Is it going to drop down a little bit because he's playmaking?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. But this season, I like the role that he's playing. And this is when I always say, you know, when it's good to watch players. You know, I'm always talking about eye test. Right now, I moved.
You say
I might go back to my 17, 18, brother.
I was going to say.
At 17.
This is what I want to ask you. So, a lot of people that do watch this will have this sort of view that you dislike Salah when... Back
they weren't there from day one.
You was on the front line.
Say that again. Say that again.
You was on the front line. But while I was going to ask you two questions. One, is this current version of Salah, does it excite you as much as that early version? Number one. And number two, with the playmaking you're seeing and the way it's happening, I know we've gone over the whole X Factor thing, but is this what you think a player of his quality in that world class thing
should be doing? Absolutely. Now, this is not my favourite version of Salah. I think even though he wasn't winning trophies or whatever, they got to the final, I like 17-18 Salah. The first season Salah, peak. And I've always liked how Salah scores. I've never ever said that guy is not an elite goal scorer. He is an elite goal scorer. Efficiency is sexy. He is the man that does it. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's great. But, you know, it started getting a bit boring to watch. And it's the fact he was at the back post trying to nip in some stuff. I wasn't moved. You know what I'm trying to say? That didn't move me. But it was goal. Because you're a winger at the end of the day. I know we have inside forwards, all this type of stuff. But do you know what he's doing right now? He's playing like a winger, bro. He's creating. He's getting on the ball. He's making things happen. And people think assists mean like creativity. That's not even what I'm saying. You can see it in the way he's playing. He just
outside of the ball pass to Robertson,
bro. His IQ is I don't know. This season his IQ is looking higher than it's ever looked. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
It's over 9,000.
Bro, he downloaded something. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. So I like it. I like what he's doing still.
So this one's from John Mons and Nerd.
I got new players to target.
It says, glad to see you guys in DR Sports. Big up DR Sports. Definitely feels like I'm kicking it with the boys on the Sunday. Welcome to the culture. That's what it's supposed to be.
Kicking it.
That's what it's supposed to be. Sorry, you was going to say something?
No.
I was going to say quickly, do you lot think, I remember a lot of times last year when teams would go through good spells with a new system, or do you lot think this Liverpool thing is sustainable? In terms of being able to always outscore opponents like that, being able to come
Liverpool's done it
back.
for a long time.
I know they've done it for a long time, but over the whole course of the season.
So this is what I would say: it's sustainable until injuries start picking up and it gets a bit mad, or it's sustainable until the wrong players start losing form.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that Liverpool's best players, and this is the difference with Liverpool and Man United. Liverpool's best players are world class. Alisson is world class. The likelihood of him dropping form is very slim. Why? Because he's world class, and world class players don't do that. Trent, I don't care what nobody says about his defending. Trent is world class, mate. His output and what he offers to you on the pitch is different level to anyone in his position. He's world class. Mo Salah is world class. So when you can, those are your trusted. When them type of players are your trusted men, you're all right.
This is the point I was making. So obviously we're talking about Nunes, Jota. Obviously Salah's always going to do what Salah does. Trent, for the most part, is going to do that. Robert, we saw him tail off last year. But you know that supporting trio, quartet, whatever you want to call them, we're saying that's the best in the league. We have seen them at times not be there. So if that goes astray, you're then relying on Mo Salah to go crazy as he does. Yeah, but is that enough to then keep them away from conceding bare goals and whatnot? That's the difference.
I hear
they
it.
Need everyone, for them to continue banging goals, they need everyone to be.
Of course,
jinky, you eat some, I eat some, all of this stuff.
That's the thing about Liverpool. Let's move on from Liverpool. But that's the thing about Liverpool. I think that they have so much options in their attack that they don't need everyone to be on top form at the same time. Yeah, I mean, Salah could drop Jota can nick you a goal. You know, he's jammy. I always say jammy Jota. You know what I mean? He's gonna nick you something. Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz. But 9 times out of 10, if you have world-class players on the pitch, they'll carry you through most games.
Definitely.
And Mo Salah will carry them through most games. Trent will carry them through most games. Alisson, that big one-on-one that you need, he will get it for you. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's what you need in the Premier League.
Let's get into it, man.
He tried to dodge. You see
how
he tried to dodge? You see what he does? He tries to dodge. You see this what he does?
Tell him.
For the new audience.
We need to
No. For the new audience, he tries to always put Chelsea last.
This is the meat of the show. Pause.
Whoa.
I said pause. As for me,
that's crazy.
Listen, anyone that has said
this is the meat.
This is gonna be the change. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be swashbuckling. We're gonna get a European place. I lied to you all.
I'm still seeing May's tweet. Our season starts tomorrow.
I've not tweeted. I don't even tweet during the games anymore, man.
Okay, he's given up. He's given up.
Because I have to watch with so much. Do you know why? Because if I tweet, I'm not watching the game to understand what's going wrong.
Guys, you know what I think it is?
I'm using all my brain power.
What is it?
He's on Chelsea adverts now.
He's
on Chelsea adverts now. He's on He's on Chelsea adverts now, people.
In general, with Chelsea, to have the easiest run-in and to get 5 points from 5 games is despicable. I think if it was any other club, any other fan base, think about it, we are trying to catch up to United. That sums up where our season is. Right now, we're not too far from United.
Yeah.
That is where Chelsea's season is right now. Their whole house is burning down, and we're trying to play catch up. We cannot score goals. We're doing these weird experiments, and when you break it down, what's going on at Chelsea, it's not going to get better anytime soon.
But
to give a comparison, you spoke about implementing style, having a sturdy 11. You talked about culture. You talked about various things as well. We have signed loads of young players, and we sit here. With young players, it's great, good. You can sprinkle them in, but you need experience. We just spoke about having world-class players. We are trying to make a bunch of young players who are going to be in and out of form, perform here and now. And when they don't perform, or we've got other ones in, we're going to throw them in. I've never seen, me personally, I might be corrected, I've never seen in football where a strategy like this is sustainable in the short term or works. I see you have to wait it out and eventually it might come to fruition, but I've never seen it work.
Yeah, but this isn't a short-term plan though. That's
100%. So what I'm saying is, right now, this is hell, and you
Yeah.
have to go through the fire.
Yes.
You have to. You
Yes.
have to go through the fire.
Hold on.
Let me ask you though.
Go on.
You were speaking about experiments.
Yeah.
Today, I think was the first time Poch played a 4-2-3-1. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
there was no Chilwell wasn't playing left wing today.
So is that kind of like more of what you want to see? Because today even Mudryk got his first start.
Mudryk got his start.
I
He
lied
linked
to you.
up
That
with-
link up with
Yeah,
with
linked
Nico.
up with Nico was
Looking
cute.
all right.
Nico was cute.
Yo, villain man, bro. Yo.
Before you get into can I ask a question that I asked on the very first day that Mikhail Mudryk started this club?
Bukayo Mudryk.
Mikhail
Bukayo Mudryk.
When he signed for the club and everyone got gassed that he cooked a 37-year-old Milner in open space when he was fresh and Milner was tired, I asked everybody, I said, I ain't seen him do nothing that I ain't seen Damari Gray do. We're about 20, 25 games later. Has anybody seen anything Mudryk can do that Damari Gray can't do? Damari Gray's better than him. It's the reality.
Where's
You don't.
Damari
Why have people?
Go and see if they play.
Yeah.
Where they play.
Why have
Who they
people got
play.
this? Why have people got this like expectation that he's going to deliver from? Because you guys did not sit and watch Ukraine of Mudryk playing 30 games. He played 30 games in Ukraine. You guys didn't see it. Oh, he got a standing ovation at the Bernabeu. Listen, I think that standing ovation had a lot of political views behind that one. Let's get that straight. Are you sure it's about his performance? I don't know. Ukraine were going through a madness at the time. I think they might have been clapping for that. That's all I'm gonna say. On performance, I ain't seen nothing. All I can see is a player that's got acceleration. He's fast. Okay, I've seen many fast players in the Premier League. Nathan Dyer. I've seen all these fast players in the Prem. Aaron Lennon. I've seen all of them. What is he going to do? Because listen, you see Anthony, you see Sancho, you see Pepe, you see all these guys. You see the slander that they've been getting. Mudryk has 0 goals for Chelsea.
Bro.
And he's been holding slander though. You
He's
can't say
zero.
he's been slander
He's
free.
been holding
Zero.
slander.
He's definitely been holding slander.
Let me speak to the point that you're saying. You're right. There are loads of players of that profile we've seen in the Premier League, and we've seen them maximize what they're good at efficiently. We haven't seen them be purchased for that much though, and we haven't seen that much hype.
That's the difference, yeah.
That's the difference. And I think what's happening now is people expect with that price point him to be the final level boss of this sort of performance. I think a lot of people as well, I'm gonna say it, not to compare the two, they see a white footballer with acceleration, pace, muscles, and who do they think of?
I better hope it's not. Who are you thinking
Mudryk.
of? Who?
Who do they think? When you think of a white footballer who's got loads of muscles and fast. What do they expect?
What, Bale?
Performance-wise? That's what people are probably thinking, that, oh my gosh, it's going to be this. It's
Bale
not gonna
from
be that. It's not going to be that.
when
It's
he's
not
about to
gonna
go
be
to
that.
Birmingham, maybe.
Don't joke with that one.
It's
Don't
not
joke
gonna.
with
It's
that
not
one.
gonna be that. People's expectations of Mudryk have to be tailored. I get it when you have a big transfer fee, people think massive things, but also as well, we talk about young players all the time. He's a young player. You need runs in the team to eventually get to somewhat of any level.
This is his first start
any
of the
level,
season.
any level. So
I mean,
listen,
you're
I
gonna
understand
start
what you're
cooking
saying, but I'm still saying that I don't feel like we're going to see an
He is training
actual.
hard.
In the gym.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see an actual representation of him till he gets a string of games. Now that goes to this. I like your point about having a set 11. I agree with it too. I think that Poch has done it really well in previous clubs where he trusts people. I think he's finding it hard to find a level and stick with that 11 because he's thinking, I've got all of these different things.
Injuries, 12 injuries?
12 injuries as well. Yep. But all of these young players, do you see our bench there?
FM
Madness.
generated bench, basically.
just loads of, like, no icon
So one player
players.
called Star. I
Yeah,
said,
one of- yeah, he's-
come on,
he's
man.
skinhead. He's a skinhead.
I know that's off the generator machine.
No,
straight
no,
up. I said,
Fam, he's got a bullet and everything.
I
But
saw one called David Washington. I said, bro, they got American presidents on their bench. Come on, what are we doing here? You lot are making up as you go along. I know you signed bad
That
kids,
sounds
but
like
come
an
on.
NBA center. bro. Trust
David
me. Man
Washington.
said David Washington.
with Chelsea,
They
based
try
on,
to tell me he's Brazilian or something.
Hey, yo,
What
Tom.
Brazilian called Washington?
with Chelsea though, with what I'm seeing, I don't have confidence that we'll finish in European places. I'll be so real with you.
Yeah.
By the time it starts clicking and things start going well, I think the moving pack would have moved too far.
Do you have
I also
confidence
think.
in
I also
Poch,
think.
though?
But
Do you have confidence in Poch? Because I feel like this year, even if it's not to, I imagine it would have been to get back to Champions League.
Yeah.
But do you believe Poch can just build a foundation?
I have a belief that Poch can definitely build a foundation. I have a belief that when I've seen him in previous roles, he has done well to bring a team and say, okay, this is what it's going to be. The difficulty with what I'm seeing at the moment is I saw glimpses of that in pre-season. I thought, obviously pre-season, I thought,
Yeah.
okay, let's see when the real business starts. Now it looks like almost like he's overwhelmed by the amount of options and young players available to his disposal.
But
I also think that in as well, we all say that goals is the biggest currency. We do not have one gunslinger in that team. We do not have no one guy that we can say.
Well,
who's
Nico
gonna go
Jackson, man. You
machine.
guys told me he was Drogba reincarnated after
Nico
pre-season.
Jackson cannot go machine for machine with top strikers. We're talking about young players, right? He was signed off a very good spell. We have not seen him in a long form and just be like, this is the player. So we still don't know what he's going to turn into. We saw him, he got signed off a very good spell. That is the truth about him. So now, ultimately, Poch is dealing with a lot of potential, and potential can go here and here. I just need him to find what your 11 is going to be, live and die by your sword.
This sounds a lot like what we were saying on the Potter. I remember that same line. Yo, that just hit my head. I remember him saying Potter needs to find his 11 and go from there. It's the same thing with Potter. No, my thing is, yeah, you can say all this type of stuff about Chelsea. Oh, it's gonna click. Like they need it to click, blah blah, and they're gonna have to go through hell and back to get there. But listen, we don't think. Sometimes we don't think about it that. Going through all of this bad form, bad form, you're going to have a very trusting fan base, a very trusting board to just sit there and watch this happen. Eventually, you're going to want to make changes. I've never seen people just go through so many L's as a group and then all of a sudden it just transforms. It's not likely. These losses could have an effect on their careers. So, it's not just going to be like, oh, we're just getting our asses whooped every single week and then eventually it's just going to click and we're just going to be be this super team because we're all young. It's not going to happen that way. These guys are on 8-year contracts.
The 4-2-3 we played today is going back to that pre-season.
Well, let me speak to that because I feel like there's various things at play. Ultimately, we cannot escape it. People's view on Chelsea is always going to be the Romans' view. He built this dynasty. So no matter what you think, you're always going to think in the back of your head, be like, oh, he gets sacked that week, so you go, oh, flip, Romans never had to sack anyone. The thing about the old days,
They're the old days.
And hear what I'm saying. You made the thing about the Chelsea that we know is not there anymore. We're still spending money like that, but we're not that club. If you're signing all these young players and expect something to happen like that, then that is delusion. When have you ever seen that happen before? You mentioned that Chelsea have signed spent X amount of money and the squad isn't a squad that you think will compete. Why? Because they're doing something different. And the whole plan is clearly something that they feel is going to be a long-term plan. So in order to get there, You have to live with this initial growing pain. And my whole thing is, if you're bringing Pochettino to be that guy, you have to trust it. And you're talking about losses. All I'm saying is 5 out of 5 is unacceptable. But how do you move on from here? The players that are coming back from injury, how does that help? And how do you go on a good run of games where you can find somewhat form? Because I'm looking at it, the football's not great. Yes, everyone's always going to talk about, Gallagher should have had 2 goals. It didn't happen
today. Yeah,
it didn't happen. So it needs to stop happening.
Gallagher captain.
And Thiago Silva's right there.
Do you know what Thiago Silva's doing?
Chelsea in 2023.
Do you know what Thiago Silva's doing? He said, listen, I've seen everything, man. You man rock out. I'm calm. I'm
my thing is with Poch is we saw him at Spurs. He did well. Ultimately, he didn't win anything, but we saw he did well. He had a good little job at Southampton, which, by the way, many managers have done the level of job Poch did at Southampton. Many managers, and they'll continue to do so. So let's not get too excited about that. He did a good job at Southampton. Many managers can do that. Spurs, he didn't win. He had his side, you know what I mean? But how do we know that he just didn't have his moment at Spurs? That was his golden moments. Because he went to PSG, bro. They couldn't wait to get that guy out of it. They packaged him out, dashed him out. It don't matter. They blamed the front three, you know what I mean? He couldn't handle the big characters. They shipped him out.
That's another episode for
So how do we know at Chelsea, bro? Like, I mean, like, are we sure that he's the elite manager that he's been built out to be?
So to answer your question,
that's what I'm saying.
When we signed him,
all of a sudden Spurs is the blueprint. Or what he did at Spurs is the blueprint.
When we signed him,
this is bizarre. This is bizarre, bro.
When Poch signed for Chelsea,
yo, you are the worst.
The first thing I said was, ultimately for him, this is a really good gig. You have to make this work, because you have to, if you want to prove that you deserve to be at this top table, you have a platform to move on from and finally do that. The PSG thing, I'm sorry, if you have one of the lowest win rates out of all of the managers that have been there recent times, everyone's going to look at you like, what happened to my man?
Won his title.
He won his title. Everyone won their title. Who did win the title?
Ancelotti, but yeah.
But
I think he ended up getting one. I think
Ancelotti left with something.
Yeah, but did he get one? He didn't get one.
Ancelotti left with something.
When Emery let that one go, yeah.
Ancelotti was saying.
No, don't put
so with him now,
Poch in the same sentence.
That's blasphemous, isn't it? But
this guy, bro.
With him now, Chelsea are still a big club. You have a platform. The money has been spent in a different way to maybe what it used to. He has to show the world what he is possible. Your question is he still that guy?
Valid.
I still feel like
it's valid.
No, it's a valid question. I still feel like he's a very good manager. You're saying is he that guy?
I feel like Chelsea,
when you say that guy, what level is that guy for you? What level was Poch on? They're talking about
the level that people were putting him on. I'm saying, are we sure he's on that? Look, Poch hasn't won in 14 away games in the Premier League. And I remember when we were in stoppage time, when we were in stoppage when we were there, when I used to say about their away record, remember? And you were telling me, you think Spurs are in crisis. You remember that viral clip? Old school. That was before. That's when I was telling you Spurs and Poch are finished, right? That's all
that was. It was nothing to do with the away record.
It was got to do with the away record. It was. He has not won in 14 away games. Everyone talks about Ten Hag's record with the top nine or whatever. Poch hasn't won in 14 away games.
Nah, but
14 away games on the spin.
Circumstantial. That can be circumstantial.
Circumstantial what?
So my thing is, listen.
We can use all of the highlights that he had at Spurs, but we can't use his lowlights.
Okay, but hear what I'm saying.
So you're dragging a record from the time
I
he was
am.
at Spurs into
fair.
now.
Yes, I am.
That's fair.
Nonsense.
My whole thing is,
That's just
this
nonsense.
is. Let me.
You really just tried to drag something from 2018 into
now.
Gil, disgusting.
My whole thing is, this is what will happen.
This
is what will happen. He's had 5 games. He's had 5 games in the Premier League, right? That's going to be brought in. Do you know what's brought in as well? People will be like, Chelsea have won 6 games in 2023. Like, he's not only been here since this new season.
Bro,
all of that's going to happen.
I think what you said is important.
All of that clamour is going to happen. But at the end of the day, all he has to do, the most important step for him right now is, I need to find that foundation quickly and build upon it. Because if he doesn't, if he gets to Christmas...
quickly. Why quickly?
No. Because, bro, if he gets to Christmas, you're still not looking for anything. We're talking about young players. We're talking about players down in tools and whatnot. The same thing will happen again.
You got 1 game a week. In my opinion, listen.
And with that 1 game a week, you should have enough time and enough stretch that you should find something.
My thing is you cannot speed this process up. I'm sorry. You've done enough.
I'm not even talking about speeding, bro. Yeah. I'm just saying that you need to find...
I get what you're saying, but I think this season he's had a big clear out in the summer of that overinflated squad. I think, as you said, he's inherited almost similar to the Spurs situation, a young squad. That's why I feel like he has to be given time to develop this. All of these young players are not going to overnight come into the Premier League and then just start turning out.
Elders around them.
Like Pochettino has to get his feet under the desk. You can't put extreme expectations on it. I think, of course, to get back in the Champions League, yes, that's the target, that's the aim.
I don't think that will happen.
At some point, you have to see some kind of, similar to De Zerbi, to Ange, you want to see some kind of structural, some kind of patterns of play. These are the things you should be looking for this season. For me to start already being like, now, I feel like it's,
all right, when
it's just
can we
being too
reassess?
negative.
This is my thing. When can we reassess? Because this whole Bowley era has been a whole. We're not allowed to talk about Chelsea right now. We're not allowed to do this every single time. Yeah, we're not allowed to talk because they just made all these. Because of Potter and this. Because of Frank Lampard's not gonna.
No.
When are we allowed to fully assess this Chelsea situation?
When you got Ten Hag, you was doing up.
So I'm saying
top 6 to aim. Yes, guys.
I'm sorry, top 6 win.
Let him say top 6 to aim.
You're
now.
with Ange.
With Ange? You want to compare Ange to Ten Hag and United to Spurs? Shameless.
With Pochettino, with 1 game a week and with this squad,
nasty.
By December, I would expect that a foundation is laid.
Where do you want to be by December? Enzo hasn't seen the top half since he joined Chelsea. Enzo hasn't seen the top half.
Is that Twitter stuff?
Yes, shout out all them pages, ISO Quince and Le Poichet and all them man. You know what I mean? I know they be throwing that shit out there, bro. I be seeing it somewhere.
By December, I want us to be in and amongst it. I don't think we can.
In and amongst what?
Top 6. I don't think we can compete for top 4. I don't think we can compete for top 4. I just want us to. Can we turn the ship around and start getting closer?
You better be in the top 4 conversation.
I'll start flying away. But with the Bowley thing, that's another conversation. Would you guys believe if I said we're in the Bowley era already? We're in the second phase of the Bowley era. You know some of the players he bought, he got rid of already.
The Koulibalys and Aubameyangs.
Remember, bro. People forget that.
He was bringing in Bear, Myra Kodris, innit?
Yeah.
Sassi, Noni. Flipping Ugochukwu. Who else? Like,
They've been saying me. I'm glad you said it.
Marlo Gusto, even Raza. He's like, let me just do a maze too. Flipping hell, mate. I was like, it's looking like ACS out there.
was running around.
It was looking like the Guap Gala, bro. Flipping hell, mate. I was looking at Chelsea was looking like the Guap Gala.
No, don't kill me.
Looking at the GRM awards, man.
Rated awards. Oh man, don't finish you, man. Come on.
Hey, don't kill me. On the real, it's not good, and I'll be the first one to say it. 5 games, 5 points, 0 goal difference. I don't care if the XG is looking good. I don't care if we hit the post. I don't care if there's big chances missed.
Okay, let me ask you this.
It's not where a club like Chelsea should be.
We've spoken on a lot of negatives. Have you seen any positives? Since Poch has took over till now, have you seen anything that makes you go, you know what? Got a bit of hope.
Yeah, Enzo completes 90% of his passes. That seems to get him in the best midfielder in the league.
How many Xavi scans?
You tell me. Tell me.
The positives I've seen, they're not positives. They'll be me reaching. It'll be me looking at a player's glimpse of a player's performance and being, there could be a player there.
Gusto?
No, just in general. I'll look at a random player. I'll be like,
Gusto though. Gusto's
nice player, man.
Gusto
nice
has to be hard. We've known Gusto's hard.
Even the Sassy. I like the Sassy.
Wait, that's a mad.
You like the Sassy?
Yeah.
So
I think he's better than what I thought he would be. In my opinion.
He plays like you.
Don't do that. Plays like you.
No, he plays like you.
Stiff guy talking to me.
Plays like
Please,
you.
man.
What happened at Club Cup?
DR Sports next year. Don't worry, you're there.
You're
there. Don't worry. We're going to see you on
tapes. We're going to see you. What happened Club Cup?
Yeah! They will get it here now. No more running, boys. We will see your football in the Middle East.
We will be there. Definitely plays like you. But in general, the positives are not really positives. Like, it'll just be you reach and try and make you feel something. I thought by now we would see, style of play.
Yeah.
I saw Chilwell left wing for a few games.
It took him till November at Spurs. I remember.
And this is why.
He had that clear out. I remember in the summer when he came in as well. Till November, there was a game. I think it was a Villa game. He was going to get sacked if he didn't win that. And then after that,
do you know what my head? I'll be real.
They're trying to make Poch's November sound iconic. They try to gas it up. Bro, they try to make this motherfucker look vicious.
Don't let this negative Nancy infect you with his United energy.
Do you know what I'm
You've got a new manager. It's a new season.
I'm waiting for. Like with Conte, yeah? It was like enough is enough after the Arsenal result. 5 at the back, let's go. I'm waiting for that moment, and maybe the 4-2-3-1 is
Was
a
that
little
today?
bit like,
Yeah.
it's like enough is enough. This is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna. Someone said Jack Shua. That is hilarious.
I think it's talking about you.
No, they're talking about Michael Jackson.
Oh, they're talking about Nico Jackson. Man said Michael Jackson. Talking about you.
What? Go the one guy.
Hey,
Hey, listen. No, but in the general, there's two things going on. The Chelsea hysteria of like people thinking that like, no, we're not there anymore. We're not there. Let's calm that down.
it's a new era.
And at the same time, we have to address that it's been bad.
I hear
Anyone
that.
else, if it was Arsenal, if it was United, bro, we're trying to catch up with United. It's all mad. But listen, man, let's get into the fun side of the show. The first ever FCM edition of Champs and Duds of the Week.
Hey, send your ones in as well.
Send your champs and
I always
duds
love
in.
hearing. 'Cause
Before
I
we go
know-
to champs and duds, let me go super chat. Shafai said, Fua, do you think Ange would have gotten the same response from players and fans if Conte hadn't torn the club apart last season? Great question.
Would he have got the same response had he?
Had Conte not just broken the whole thing?
Yeah, I think. Listen, the club was broken regardless of Conte's speech. I think Conte's speech. You look back at it, he didn't really say anything wrong. It was
he
just.
spitting?
I think people were
No, not the
just
speech, just the way he
upset
broke the
about
club.
him talking about the club he's currently managing like that. I think the one thing with Ange that's different with Conte. Conte always made it seem like he was doing us a favour of being here. I think Ange has like fully bought in to the club, and the club therefore have bought into him. Like the fans are all on his side, honestly. It's crazy. But yeah, I think he would have got this reaction regardless because it's an overhaul is needed.
No one from Toby Saber. Oh, interesting.
Tubby Saber.
Toby, yeah. Fuad playing the Kante role in 6-a-side is mad, I can't lie.
Hey, listen. You ain't never seen no one put out a defensive comp in the 5-a-side, have you? Welcome to the new game, B. Listen, defenders defend, yeah. Defenders defend. Listen, I'm the leader of the centre backs union out here. Yeah?
I liked having Fuad on my team though. I liked having him on my team still.
Hey, see,
That was
that's
good.
all I make sure that everybody who's on my team, I'm their favourite teammate.
Yeah, I
But
thought
you
you
see
said-
the opposition,
Yeah.
nightmare. That's all I want. I don't care.
A man barked at a guy and the guy jumped out of the stadium. That's
Bruh.
the funniest thing I've ever seen. But listen,
Dogs!
champs and duds. So if you're new round here, wait, so LJ Brown said Chelsea are basically cloned Maya just like Tyrone. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny as well. If you're new around here, champs and duds is something we do to shout out the best performers and some of the worst performers of the week. Send in your nominations as well. Super chat your nominations.
This guy's just collecting trophies throughout the show. What's wrong with him?
Man, them get a new set and just start doing anything. Man said, "Oh my gosh, we got this. Dia gave us this."
You ain't never touched one of them before.
Hey, only some teams are playing in Europe this weekend, this midweek, and that's Manchester United. So instantly, we're one of the champs of the week. We're in the Champions
Wait,
League.
we're getting champs of the.
I
Yeah.
love it. Champs of the week. He's brought the Champions League. Let me get a quick prediction. You think you're qualifying from that group?
Don't worry about it.
Look how they're trying to
worry
duck
about
it.
that, mate.
Hey, look how they're trying to duck
worry about
it.
that.
Yeah. Sir.
that one.
Sir.
about that.
Yeah, I'm watching your games closely. Don't worry.
You see this hater? Bro, you not seeing this damn hater?
I was the one
Why you
supporting Ten
hating?
Hag. You were the one saying Ten Hag out.
I never see how they look.
Champ of the week.
See how narratives spin? I never ever said Ten Hag out. Don't look at that.
You
said that questions don't stop being asked.
Yeah, I saw you
Questions will be
stoking the
asked.
You're
fires.
leading the inquest.
What?
You're leading the inquest. to Ten
he's
Hag
stoking
out.
the
People are
fires.
bringing me reports. I'm just reading them.
I'm
just reading them.
using your platform to say that Ten Hag's in trouble.
Look at this guy, bro. See how they're
Hey,
doing?
who's your champ of the week?
My champ of the week is Murphy of Nice.
Terra Murphy.
Terra Murphy for Nice.
Big
Super
performance.
Eagle went to the Parc des Princes. Nice got their first win in 14 years there. Dropped 2 goals, 1 assist on Mbappe's head. Did a mad celebration, had Mbappe sulking at it. And I was like, I like that mentality. I like that mentality of, listen, what you did over there was cool. And PSG, I respect that. But nah, it's different. I respect that from him. And obviously, we've got bare Nigerian number 9s at the moment. So for him to be putting his name in the hat as well and saying that, listen, I'm still here.
Too many
I
nines,
respect
man.
that. Niger
Too many
for real.
nines.
Niger for real.
Too many
crazy,
nines,
isn't
bro.
it? The amount of
Literally,
number
bro.
nines you lot got.
Formation's gonna be crazy.
So yeah, that would be my champ. I'll let you man do a champ. I've got like a sentimental champ.
I think without a shadow of a doubt, I have to go Richarlison. I think coming on. Listen, coming on, get the goal, get the assist, turn the game around the last few minutes. Bro, after coming out this week as well, talking about mental health issues and you're going through a lot as well, I'm like, yo, what better way to kind of bounce back and give a big performance? And listen, I've been one of his biggest critics. That's all we want. Just a little something here and there. I'm not asking for 20 goals. Just give me a goal and assist. I'm not asking for much. But this week,
mature food.
Champ of the week, man.
Sorry.
Champ of the week.
Post Manton agrees with you. I've got a question. You know, Richarlison mentioned that people kind of stifling money behind his back. You know that time you saw him in the airport?
Listen, we had like a business exchange. It wasn't me, guys. Can I give one more champ, actually?
Go on, of course
I just remembered one of the biggest, or shall I say, the greatest defender in football history went back to his hometown club this summer.
And he got a clean sheet today.
Got a clean sheet and a W.
He's familiar with these.
Sergio Ramos.
He's familiar with
my
these.
favourite player of all time, champ of the week this week, man.
Yeah. Champ of the week. That was
real
nice
men there.
Return. That was He
literally got
real men.
Got a clean sheet. I've got another champ in that round.
Am I going to be able to get my champion, guys? I mean, what? I
No,
bring the Champions League trophy, they get angry.
No, but you did.
They get mad.
You got your trophy, man.
They get mad. And my champ of the week is Al Hilal. My team. And I should have clapped even harder for the 3-point collective. I forgot I got Al Hilal in the back.
Yeah.
6-1 victory.
Sicko.
You know what I mean? Hey, it's nice over there. We're top of the league. Listen, I'm telling you. When I invested in Al Hilal, by the way, we weren't champions. So people don't try and say I'm glory hunting. We were not champions. There was Al Nassr with Cristiano and all this type of stuff.
Dogs.
Life was all
Up
good.
the Nassr.
There was Ittihad and all of that. We just said, all right, you wait until we bring our boys.
Hey,
and now we're top of the league. Do you know what I mean? Get Al Hilal in the Champions League. We need someone to compete with City. Bloody hell. You know,
Hey, listen, I'm actually looking forward to touching on some of the Saudi league this season. It ain't just going to be all Premier League, but definitely we'll be touching on
Champions
that
League though,
season.
Doku, what a performance, man. It was amazing.
Champ, I've got. I'll give DR Sports a champ for recognising the opportunity, moving with diligence. That's a champ. That's
Who?
DR Sports. That's a champ of the week movement.
Hey.
Hottest product on the market, and they snip. Come on, man. That's a champ of the week move.
Hey.
I was gonna give a champ of the week to all of us as well, actually.
Bruv, we've been waiting weeks, months
But like, fam,
for the
I see
return,
you-
man.
I see you do everywhere. I'm seeing you everywhere. I'm seeing myself everywhere. Like
Yeah,
on the real,
literally.
like if you watch this show from the beginning and you saw that some of the environments we're having to record in, risking our lives, recording in the middle of the night, compromised hard drives. We couldn't even put the audio out because it's corrupted to this. That's a champ of the week shout for sure.
No, for sure. FCM being black.
Honestly, let's go to duds.
Duds,
I've got one.
unfortunately, man, I have to give it to La Pioche, Paul Labille Pogba. I mean, just when you thought 2 weeks ago he comes out with a statement, I'm fitter than ever, I'm back to my hungry self. And
Yeah, we
you're
know
kind of hoping, you know, hey, he could get back to his level at Juve, but this week gets found out. Tested positive, I think, for
Testosterone.
Yeah,
Testosterone.
You know what the saddest thing
the
about it was?
investigation ongoing at the moment. I don't know if he's going to be suspended or what the play is, but
If it comes
that's his
through,
career done
yeah,
pretty much.
If it comes through, he 30, 31, he'll be suspended for about for 4 years. Do you know what the saddest
4
thing?
years,
You know the saddest thing about that whole ordeal was as well.
4 years
The
is
saddest
crazy.
thing is, yeah, he didn't even enter the picture play the day he got tested. He was on the bench, unused
Wow.
sub.
They said he's looking a bit too jacked up. They said something's looking a bit. They said he's looking too jacked up. They had to see what's going on.
Yeah, come.
Bro, they had to bring him through. That's a shame, man. That's a shame. I don't wish that on nobody, but
Pogba's career. and
rules
how
are
it's
rules,
turned
eh?
out.
Hey.
It's not.
Read
I
out
don't
some
know-
of the comments.
I don't know how to give this stud, but the whole Inter Miami situation is hilarious. Where
The pizza.
no, Messi was just at home eating pizza. They thought 72,000 fans came. They thought they would see Messi. Messi was at home on IG stories
Eating the worst
eating
pizza ever.
The worst
Wait,
pizza ever.
Messi, what? He's already load managing.
He's already load managing. Bro, go look at the pizza he was eating.
Bro.
It's even more disgusting. Just
Probably.
pure tomato slices. Not tomato sauce,
They
slices.
lost their first game since he's been there. They got slapped up.
Yeah, that
Because
Messi
Atlanta
steam
United
ran out.
Slapped them like
Wait,
5-2.
he needs to stop load managing because you know it's meant to be putting Florida on the map. Don't let Rick Ross catch wind of that. Yo, Messi was soon having
Kodak.
to pay tax. Don't have to start paying tax to the biggest boss.
Wait, he's
You know
gonna
what I mean?
he's gonna have to
Listen,
check into training.
you better play Messi, bro. Because Miami needs to get on the map.
Listen, man.
Don't let the hitters step out. Big man thing, fam.
Can't save you.
Bro, big man thing. Get on the field.
Oh man.
That one killed me. There was another dud as well somewhere. There was a dud in the Premier League. That
Right, Mateus Cunha. For that performance, I can't lie to you. That miss at the Liverpool game,
Yeah.
I think since he's come in, it's just a big money signing.
Yeah.
Last year, I think he played 3 games and they paid 40 million off the back of that, which was an obligatory fee as well, not even like a mandatory one. I'm like, bro,
They paid Cunha was 40 million.
40 plus, I think, 44 or something like that. And it was only 3 games he played, no goals, and it just
But
got
it was obligatory,
activated.
innit? They had to pay it.
I said,
They probably saw him at Old Trafford looking like Kaká, bro.
yeah.
That's probably why.
trying
I'm
to
saying
see.
that's about me. For me, I ain't got no more duds.
I was going to say,
Just look,
know-
people are laughing at the way you said Al Hilal, by the way.
What is it?
Al Hilal.
Yeah.
You were saying Al Hilal.
Al Hilal.
He
Now I
literally
gotta say
said
like El Hilal.
Al Hilal.
Come on, man wants me to do
Al Hilal.
what?
El Hilal.
Al Hilal.
El Hilal.
Al Hilal.
El Hilal.
There you go. You're getting there. Getting
El
close.
Hilal. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
you see, you're doing too much. This guy, we need to get culture camps, elocution lessons.
Oh
I'm
my
telling you.
God. What is it? El Hilal. Well,
Pascal Gross.
Why are you? Why are you
He's doing something with his
No,
throat.
I said
bro.
It's just.
Whoa!
But hey, Pascal Gross, champ of the week. Comment sections are saying as well. Definitely has
They
to
said
be
that
in
you
there.
look. You said that you sound German.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think that's it. You know.
Yeah, that's
I didn't-
about it.
I wanted to give United a dud for the statements.
Don't worry
but it's
about that,
been-
man.
Yeah, it's just it was
Don't
just
worry
the
about
other
that.
side, man. Listen, man. We'll be back next week. You already know what time it is. For everyone that tuned in for the first iteration of FCM, thank
This was
you.
history.
Now, like I said, you're part of the movement. You're part of the movement. You're here. But please like, share, subscribe. This is available on all streaming platforms. All of them.
Yeah, you can see
all
it
of them.
right there.
All of them.
There we go.
Somewhere right there. Somewhere right there.
Man,
All
have
of
you
them.
made it to Amazon Music, yeah?
We
Bruh.
everywhere now, baby.
Made it to Amazon Music, yeah? Man said Google Podcasts.
Listen.
Man, I only knew about SoundCloud and everything.
But like we,
Spiff TV. MySpace.
live wire.
That Piff.
Live wire on that.
Piff.
No, come
But listen, like, share, subscribe. We'll be back here next week. Like we said, production will be in the house as well. We're just getting started, like we said. Thank you for everyone that's been supporting. Thank you for all of the messages. We proper appreciate it. And listen, we're not slowing down. We're heating up. Like, this ain't
Let
a
us know
joke.
if you want more different type of stuff.
Let us
man.
know what you
Listen,
want, man.
We're
That's
trying to get bigger and better. If there's stuff that people want to see as well, do you know what I mean?
Let
Us
us know.
do.
You lot have been with us on this journey.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
So we definitely going to be listening to like recommendations
Listen.
and stuff. So yeah, man, let us know.
Welcome to the movement.
Extra content.
Welcome to the movement.
It's
FCM. Over and out.
Peace.